turning it up on Rapid FM 96.5. The sound of your city.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It's a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. So this is beyond partisan politics. Nigeria is on drip. Nigeria is on oxygen. And how can we get out of this? And these are kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employee of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is part of it.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
No Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
Yeah, good morning, beautiful listeners out there. It's a beautiful Tuesday. We believe it's going to be a very sunny day as well because we've had too much of the rains. I'm still doing my forerunner job. I'm going to do some forerunner job for this week, and I'm sure that we are all glued to our radio stations. Please don't ever touch that dial. You are on Rapid 96.5, the sound of your city. So today we have some wonderful topics lined up for you. As always, we are always standing on the right perspective to bring you sizzling and topical issues that make meanings to our society and to our families in general. At this point, let me introduce our wonderful pilot, Mr. Moses Ben.
And also let me mention your name also. That's Ike Ogbonna. A very good morning to you, Ike.
Thank you very much.
Good morning to you listening to us this morning. It's good to be here again this morning to look at developments in our society. This is Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics. The president had announced in his Democracy Day broadcast that a consensus had been reached between the federal government and Labour on the new wage. A claim both the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress debunked. It's been weeks after the president also stated he was going to transmit the bill for the new minimum wage to the National Assembly. At this point in time, everywhere is quiet. Nobody's talking about the issue, even from the angle of the presidency, until yesterday, saying that Nigerians should be patient with this development. What does this really mean? Is it that the government is not interested, actually, in the welfare of workers in Nigeria? Well, we'll get to find out, as that will form our conversation on Standpoint this morning. The incorruptible man is here. Incorruptible, good morning and welcome to Standpoint.
Yeah, good morning to you. And Moses Ben.
I want to know the laid down criteria that can qualify, those factors that will qualify one to join this campaign, Incorruptible People's Party.
Yeah, you must be truthful. Honesty is the key word there. Honesty is the key word.
I didn't laugh. I could laughed at you.
So, it's not easy.
No, it's not easy.
That's why our former vice president, Oshibanjo, a pastor, he even came out to say that they fought corruption, but corruption fought back. I can't forget that statement. So, honesty is cool. Then you must be the man that have conscience. You must have conscience. When I mean conscience, if you're given something to deliver for your people, you deliver.
Because it's all about the people.
It's all about the people. So if you think it's your turn to enjoy, your turn to shine, your turn to eat, after all, others have been doing it. No, don't have the mindset of you're not the first time. After all, people have been doing it. If you have that mindset, you cannot join the incorruptible party.
That's good to know. Welcome to Standpoint.
No matter who you are. Here we don't support godfatherism. Yes, it's about you and you deliver. People are here so weak. Sorry, they can't make it
to your party. You shouldn't hear you this morning.
No, they can't make it. He knows.
He can decide to buy the party. Buy you and buy the party.
Completely.
So what becomes of you?
Let's allow the issue. We'll be looking at the delayed new minimum wage and organized labor's warnings to state governors, issues and implications this morning. But before we take up the discussion on this topic this morning, President Bola Tinubu says the efforts of security forces in the fight against insecurity in the Northwest are yielding results and have disrupted and dismantled criminal networks. If you can observe the vigor I'm using to pronouncing these words, you will try to know the message I'm trying to create this morning. The president said these are the Northwest Peace and Security Summit organized by the North Governors Forum in Katsina State, the capital of Katsina State, yesterday. It was actually represented by his vice in the person of Kashim Shettima. Meanwhile, the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammadu Saad Abubakar III, says it will take decades for the bandit-ravaged Northwest geopolitical zone to come out of the menacing security challenge. As we speak, as a matter of fact, if you are listening to us this morning, the vice chancellor of that is that Danfodio University,
the deputy
vice chancellor has been killed.
Absolutely, yes.
As a result of bandit attack. Last week Saturday, a priest in Zamfara State was abducted, was kidnapped in Zamfara State. Gentlemen, I wonder how this would portray the statement of the president that the issue of criminality, the issue of insecurity, that he has been dismantling criminal networks in Nigeria. Incorruptible, sir.
Yeah, it is actually annoying and funny at the same time. You know, when they will come out to score cheap political points by making some statement. This is not the first time. The last time, I'm still annoyed with that statement. He used the word degrading. He said that they have degraded the efforts of the killers. In fact, they have so many names now, killers. And I became so angry. I think it was that period that they were actually dealing with Kaduna. A lot happened in Plateau State. And Pastor, the governor in Benue, Reverend Father, is still struggling to know how to, bring his state to what it should be. And the president, Tinubu, came out that said that they have actually, downgraded the effort of the killers. Now this one, this is just few out of many that you have mentioned, and they have used another word, dismantling. I'm not surprised. The former administration also, through the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, also used the word of technically, that they have technically defeated Boko Haram. Now all these things put together, you just want to hear, you're just being led. We are being led by people that will just prefer when the mic is on. Okay, what do we say now? Anything that comes to their mind,
anything that comes to their mind,
and they know it is very, very. It's not true at all. A lot is happening. In fact, I would say it that since Tinubu took over, they are now more relaxed. Have we attacked any of them? That were the way we did under some other administrations. How do they operate now? They operate with ease. They come to a community, do what they want to do. Under this administration, we heard that kidnappers requested for fried rice and chicken.
And even went into negotiation with the authority that's to be in terms of how much to be paid
the
for
money,
the release of this.
Separate. They say, see, this is what we want to eat. If you're coming to us, come with fried rice and chicken. They made that demand, and we allowed that to happen. how many days ago we heard that a kidnapper chatted, a pregnant woman got kidnapped. They chatted, that should be in Ogun State. They chatted the husband of the woman on WhatsApp. See, we have kidnapped your wife, so you know what to do. Now, can't we trace? Now, for them to be bold to be chatting on WhatsApp, you see how comfortable they are under Tinubu's administration. Now they are coming out to say they are dismantling, be it in the north, west, and everywhere. How are you dismantling? These people are still comfortable doing their stuff. It's so sad.
Right, Ike.
So sad.
Ike, I believe that there are other insecurity or cases that have to do with a breach of security that are not being reported. I know
Many.
about that particular one. We had a security expert yesterday on Security Talks who said that crime is something that you cannot fight completely. But when it becomes glaring, when it's very obvious, to the point that today you see this, and then we have security points, security agents everywhere, but these things keep happening, it would be questioning the readiness of our institutions, the readiness of our political actors in ensuring that they fight crime, even where I agree with their position that you cannot completely elude crime in any society. But should we allow things to go this way? At the end of the day, you hear amount of money that goes into handling security issues in this country. It's really sad. And then the presidency will come up to say we are dismantling the network of bandits and all of that in this country. We see kidnappings everywhere. People are being killed on a daily basis in this country, Ike.
It's quite disappointing, my brother. It's very sad and at the same time very annoying. One would have expected Tinubu to be up and about in the issue of insecurity. I am completely disappointed with him. I didn't know. I was thinking that I was going to, face it headlong, decisively, given the fact that at least he's from the south. Let's look at Buhari. Buhari, we said was paying lip service to insecurity. At some point we remember the various statements he made. That his people were being wiped away or were being, obliterated. That's the Fulanese. And then, of course, we saw how he opened our flanks and, brought all of them from the Sahel, from all Mali and all of that.
Chad
and
Benin Republic,
them,
not even mention
yes.
these areas.
So it was deliberate. You understand? Because probably they had an agenda, which, by the grace of God, didn't see the light of day. But now that we have a southern president, one would have expected him to face it headlong, and see how it. We know that security may not be completely eradicated.
May not.
You understand? But how about those basic ones that are supposed to be dealt with? Yes, we know about armed robbery. You understand? We know about pickpocketing. We know about other minor ones that they can live with. But you and I mean, the issue of going to the farm.
Like if you say that we can live with, it starts from a gradual process and generates into a very.
I'm talking about armed robbery.
Ample. Okay.
From childhood, we've always known about armed robbery. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's still insecurity. But I'm talking about this issue of banditry, herdsmen. At infancy, as a child growing up, I see Fulani herdsmen with sticks. Strapped on their shoulders.
Yeah.
But now you see them with AK-47.
With AK-47.
So it's alien. Do you understand? So these ones should not be tolerated. Those ones are the ones that government should, at least let's say, and when they are busy grappling with that of maybe armed robbers and other forms of, pockets of insecurity. But not these ones that are staring in the face.
Yeah.
Every day they are staring in the face. They will come on social media and display their weaponry, display their strength and their ability to overwhelm you. I mean, they are serious arms race. Every day they are acquiring weapons and weaponry, acquiring RPGs. You understand? AK-47. I mean, it's nothing. Conscripting women to transport bullets and magazines. You understand? On a daily basis. These are things we shouldn't. I mean, those ones that there are some that government declare emergency. Do you understand what I'm saying? Declare emergency in that regard so that we can nip it in the bud. You can't go to the farm. Should we tolerate that? These are part of why we're having problem with food scarcity.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get down to this because governors of the southern Nigeria have come up to say that, look at, we are projecting state policing and community policing, but that will be a conversation later on this program. We are being joined by the Executive Director, Data Desk for Social Development, Udochukwu Chukwu, on Standpoint this morning. Very good morning to you, sir, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Ben, and good morning, Abia State.
It's good to have you today on the program. Welcome once again.
Always my pleasure.
As Nigerians wait for the transmission of a new national minimum wage bill to the National Assembly by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, employers and workers across the country are holding their breath over the final figure that will be announced by the federal government. Remember that the president promised to transmit the bill to the National Assembly. As we speak today, everybody has been thrown into the atmosphere of suspense. Nothing has been done about it apart from where it has remained. We'll be looking at this issue today. Upon arrival, during the conference of the International Labour Organization, Joe Ajero said that having submitted its demand to the president through National Minimum Wage Tripartite Committee, that the expectation of the workers was for him to consult widely and pronounce a minimum wage that would fill and then also handle the issue of gap income created by economic downturn in the country. At this point where we are, Udochukwu, nothing has been said about the transmitting or transmission of the bill to National Assembly. Meanwhile, I cannot forget, because the National Assembly has said that, okay, if the president presented the bill, that they would look into it and then consider it. What do you make of the suspense hovering around the expected new national minimum wage in Nigeria, sir? Hello, sir? Oh, this should be a network trying to play a very smart one.
I think it's better now. I can hear you now.
Okay,
go ahead.
Please go ahead with your response. We are trying to. What do you make of the suspense at the moment around the expected new national minimum wage? Since when the president said he would be presenting the bill to National Assembly, up until now, nothing has been said. Nobody is getting any information with regard to that. What do you make of this development? Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, okay, better now. It's back.
Okay, sorry about the fluctuation. Did you get my question?
I didn't get the last part of it.
Okay, we are talking about where the organized labor unions are at the moment with regards to the promise of the president to transmit the bill for the next new minimum wage in Nigeria. Nothing has been said about it. Everywhere remains quiet. What is your reaction to this development?
Well, I think the labor leadership would communicate to their members and the entire country if there is any agreement. I would trust information coming from labor more because when the government decided to say they were going to offer something above 60,000 naira, I was wondering why they were not specific. You know, they kept saying they were going to offer something above 60,000. So eventually, they came down to 62,000 from 400 and something thousand level was asking for. And for me, my problem is not even the lack of clear communication from the federal government or the negotiating team from both sides. My problem is while this back and forth continues, Nigerians continue to suffer. So if they increase it now, how will the market respond to it? That's my biggest fear. Are there any strategy to make sure the inflation we are witnessing now is not doubled when these things are finally agreed upon, whatever the figure is? But I think 62,000 naira the federal government is presenting is quite laughable, especially if you compare what is obtainable even within African countries. So the suspense is, I believe, those directly involved in terms of, labor union leaders and actually Nigerian workers. Probably they are full of expectations, but then even 100,000 is just a shadow on the wall compared to how much inflation has actually eroded the value of naira. So if your minimum wage cannot buy a bag of rice, then I don't know what it is. So whatever the expectation is, if the federal government insists on 62,000 naira, I think it's not going to make any change or any significant difference. But my argument all the time is the biggest problem is not actually what workers are paid. Nigerians spend billions today paying ransom to get their loved ones released. Households in some parts of the country sell family properties to pay ransom. You buy fuel to power your generator. You have to provide your household with water. You have to provide your own securities. To a large extent, many rural dwellers have to fix their own roads. So even if you pay 1 million naira minimum wage, it won't still be enough because the average household is a mini government in Nigeria. You take care of yourself, absolutely. So the government has little or nothing to offer you as a Nigerian citizen. Your own security, you foot the bills of your own security. If you have the money, you build a high wall, put strong gates, put security men, put security dogs, just to make sure people contribute money to put security on their street. People are doing everything to fill the gap. So whatever this money, the final agreement is coming, down to. Big question mark I have waiting for the final outcome is to what extent will it make any difference? So for me, I'm not so much bothered about their silence because I have little or no expectation on the side of government to rise above, their lack of commitment.
When you say that you are not actually interested in the angle of the government, is it not the responsibility of the government to ensure that they come up with the exact figure? By records, it's about 5 years, after every 5 years, that the new minimum wage issue is being discussed in Nigeria. Is it not the responsibility of the government to ensure that this becomes a reality?
Well, from our experiences as Nigerians, I have learned not to trust the government. That is my own disappointment or expectation even is for all Nigerians to rise in solidarity with Labour. And that's what I haven't seen. We have left this fight to be, that of Labour alone. But I think if there is any time all Nigerians should unite behind Labour, it is now. We have a government that have demonstrated time without number, time and again, that the personal interests of those in authority, takes precedence. They talk of buying presidential jet, they talk of buying presidential yachts, they talk of buying exotic, very expensive cars for lawmakers. And then they spent 90 billion to subsidizing Hajj and the very privileged members of the society who go on these Hajj and pilgrimages. So whatever concerns the average person, look at the student loan. It is still in limbo. So understanding that the governments of the day have little or nothing to offer Nigerians, I thought Nigerians would have risen, rise above our differences and combine our efforts to hold the government accountable. That is really where my expectation is, and that is where I think a sustainable development will come from. When citizen-centered engagement, we left this battle for Labour alone, but I don't think it is their battle to fight alone. They are fighting for every common man on the street. And I'm so disappointed with Nigerians that we haven't been able to, come together and make a very strong demand from this government. 100,000 naira is not too much for a country like Nigeria. Look at some other African countries like Seychelles that pays $465 as their minimum wage, and Nigeria is struggling with 20 or $21 as minimum wage. If they increase it to $60, that will be about $40. So it's laughable for an oil producing country, and Nigerians shouldn't accept this. That is where my disappointment is. It's not because I think government is doing the right thing. No, I think Nigerians have not come to terms with the kind of government they have.
All right. In the face of these negotiations, agreement and disagreement on what the next new national minimum wage should be in Nigeria, the organized labor comprised the NLC and TUC have accused state governors of meddling and also trying to scuttle the process. Remember that few state governors rather came up to say that we don't have the capacity, the capability to fund the request of the organized labor, saying that state governors are responsible also. What do you make of that from the angle of the organized labor?
Of course, the minimum wage is a financial burden that often, employers of labor, including the state governors, have to bear, rather including the state governments have to bear. But then it has a ripple effect on driving the economic activities will be much more. Maybe the economy will start growing again and there will be more revenue through taxes. So it's a give and take. If the state governors are saying they have no capacity to pay minimum wage, remember what minimum wage means is the least you can pay unskilled workers. Unskilled workers are the ones who receive this minimum wage. But these governors even pay minimum wage to graduates they employ in their places of work. But the concerns of the governors are very, I would say, understandable, if only if they have demonstrated in their own lifestyle that the state governments don't have enough money to pay 62,000 or 100,000 minimum wage. A single lawmaker drives these cars that are too expensive that they can't even go to their villages with it because of insecurity. One convoy, a governor moves with more than 15, 20 cars, and you know what it is. So their lifestyle and the costs they incur in running government alone suggests that there is enough money for state governors to pay this thing. And that is where I continue to say, unless Nigerians, come together and rise against such, I would say it is fraudulent actually for them to come out and claim that they don't have enough money. Most of them fly private jets. None of them fly, commercial flight. They go to Abuja, Lagos, or anywhere. They fly private jets. So how are you supposed to convince me that the government doesn't have enough money to pay minimum wage? So it's an argument that cannot be sustained by these politicians. And I think the average Nigerian on the streets understand that they are playing politics. They just want enough for themselves.
All right. Good morning to you, Udo Chukwu.
Good morning.
I know the name. That's my other brother's name anyway. Good to have you. My name is Incorruptible Sam. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
All right.
I hear you.
All right. And I think maybe my question will be twin, knowing as much as they are all together here. You have talked about how disappointed you are with Nigerians. Nigerians now, including Ben Moses, Incorruptible Sam, Ike, and you too, that we have not done the needful in helping or supporting labor on this fight. And if we open the phone lines right now, about 2-3 callers will tell you that if they can't accept what the federal government is asking, I think I will remember his name. He will always say federal government should sack all the labor.
That's Mr. Mado.
That's Mr. Mado, Bro Mado. He will always call to say sack them if they cannot accept that. And don't you think also the labor themselves, has disappointed us enough when it comes to, okay, don't worry, we are supporting labor. Then midnight of the day the strike should start, you see them telling us that they have accepted or that they have reached an agreement with the federal government that the strike will no longer hold. Then thereby disappointing millions of Nigerians that has actually supported them in the fight that they want to push. Answer that one first, then the question B will come. Don't you think labor on themselves also they are not serious with the whole fight?
Okay, that's an interesting angle. There has been a lot of mixed communication from labor, especially this particular leadership of labor. Yes, but then that is where I also fault their strategy. Negotiations can be going on while Nigerians are on the street demanding. I feel there is no pressure on government to do the right thing. So if you are negotiating with government and you use strike as a bet, then the government decides to say, okay, let's get back to the table, and you call it off. If you don't go back to the negotiation table, the government, these politicians will also use it against you. So I don't think there is anything. They can suspend the strike, but that doesn't, shouldn't take Nigerians out of the streets. Okay. When I mean pressure, I don't think any government at all in Nigeria, from the federal to state down to local governments, are under any form of pressure to perform. So I thought the strategy Labour has maybe deployed so far, they have only negotiated. And if it is not negotiation, it is striking. No, there should be protests. Nigerians should be on the street every day protesting for a better Nigeria. And I don't think Labour has actually galvanized Nigerians that much to put this pressure.
Okay.
If anyone thinks Labour is demanding for so much, they should just take a weekend and see how these politicians live their lives.
Okay.
There is absolutely no country that can sustain or support the lifestyle of Nigerian political office holders.
Okay.
And there is no way you can make arguments that you don't have one of the lowest minimum wages in the world. Go and check. Nigeria pays one of the least in the world.
Sure.
If you compare what Nigerian lawmakers receive as annual basic salary, about $189,000, and you compare, that's about 116 times more than the national per capita GDP. If you also check this thing, they are offering 62,000 minimum wage, right?
Yeah.
If the average worker works 40 hours, because if you work for 8 hours a day, that's about 40 hours a month.
In a month.
If you pay 62,000 for 40 hours, that means 387 naira per hour.
Okay.
Meanwhile, other countries, we often say we shouldn't compare ourselves with developed countries. But then, these are countries who don't even have mineral resources. They are paying over 2,000 naira minimum wage per hour. I mean, over $14 per hour. Meanwhile, Nigeria is paying less than 25 cents. And you think it's acceptable? I don't think people should put figures to this thing and check the increasing cost of living.
All right.
Families are at their breaking point now, and there is no reasonable argument against at least 100,000 naira minimum wage.
Yeah, my question B, still on this same thing. Now, you have actually talked about, Nigerians taking to the streets. And we know how it ends here in Nigeria. Back to 2020, I can't forget that easily. NSAS, the youth, Nigerians in general, we made a move. All the 36 states, then Lagos State, and the politicians saw how together we were. And you can remember the toll gate, Lekki toll gate, and everybody ran back to their houses. I don't know. How do you suggest we do this one now? Is it going to be on the street shouting, no, we don't want it? Or you think at this point we should come out again and fear no evil? After all, is in one of the prayers we recite in the Bible.
That is where labor leadership comes in. The dangerous thing about keeping quiet, this anger will erupt like a volcanic eruption.
Yeah.
And that time, everybody might become a victim. We may not be able to control it when the anger erupts. People are angry, people are frustrated, people are lamenting. If the government of the day failed to read the mood of the nation, it may come out, terribly bad. And that is why I think find a way to galvanize the people. I think it's Singapore that protested for more than 62 weeks, every day, non-stop. Nigerians are still learning how to, fully participate in a democratic system. Sometimes they think it is enough to complain or just to adjust and move on, but doesn't work that way. Our form of democracy, our own system of self-governance is participatory democracy. And Nigerians should understand that every legitimate tool within their means should always be explored and exploited. You cannot allow a government or this crop of politicians who constantly undermine, development of the people and the country, allow them to maybe one day wake up and have a new leaf, change the way they do things. No, things are going to get worse. Take in 1999, Nigerian budget was about $2.something billion. Today, you hear a governor stealing over 400 and something billion naira, 800 and something billion. So in 1999, Nigerian budget was about 2 billion. In 2024, one governor can steal about 1 billion. Do you really understand that?
Yeah.
That these people can steal as much as they can lay their hands on, and then turn back and tell us there is not enough. So I think Nigerians are not angry enough. And sometimes when they're angry, they misdirect it. We should rise above our differences and distractions and, stand up against these politicians. It's time we hold them accountable. And there is no better opportunity than to rally around this whole negotiation of minimum wage. But unfortunately, as you pointed out, Labour hasn't shown that leadership in terms of galvanizing the rest of Nigerians. They are just focusing on their members.
All right, Udochukwu, we are due for a break. This conversation is live on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook at Rapid Umahia, and also YouTube Rapid 96.5 FM. When we return, there are other issues we'll get to find out from you, and then we'll allow our listener to contribute to the program. This is Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics. Please stay with us.
Una hola niye aba amala mma ebe niile buzi parapara ụzọ buzi sara ọkụ na ebe azụmahịa dị larịị. Legodo ụzọ ụmụọba Jubilee Road na Queen Street. Ọ bụghịkwa naanị n'ala Aba o, maka ndị Igbo na-ekwu okwu na-asị emenyere nwa ogugu emenyekwara nwa anọsi ike na mpaghara Abia North. Okporo ụzọ n'onye elu ama Arochukwu ndị Okereke Ozuabam, Ụmụahịa Uzuakọlị na-echefughị Zero Pothole Drive n'ime Ụmụahịa. Ụzọ ndị a niile ka Gọvanọ Alex Oti chịkọtara ka o meziere ndị Abia. A ga-agụkwa na ole ghara ole nwanne m ọkwa ịma na ọ bụ oke n'ọrụ dịrị mụ na gị abụọ ime ka gọọmenti nyere anyị aka kwado ọchịchị dị ugbu a.
Ozi a si n'aka Abia State Orientation Agency nke onye isi ya bụ Pastor Dike Nwankwo.
Wow! Praise time is here. Salvation Ministries present Praise Festival. Zion Rejoice. This soul-lifting event holds on Saturday, 29th June 2024 at Salvation Ministries Church Auditorium, 135C Okigwe Road, behind Ibiza Hotel, Aba, Abia State. Time is 4 p.m. prompt. Ministering Pastor Charles Aliko, music ministers Mr. M and Revelation, Chinasa, Boma Benjamin, comedians Busy Mouth and Talking Drum. Come, let's praise God in the beauty of His holiness and receive His manifold blessings. You are cordially invited.
Beauty
is power. A smile is its sword. Beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is all around us. So, if you want to look good always, visit Masters and Wands Cosmetics stores. It's new, it's exclusive, and the happening store in beauty products. We deal on perfumes and cosmetics such as body lotions, facial creams and scrubs, body sprays, powders, bath wash, and all kinds of quality cosmetics with affordable prices. Contact us at number 41 Fimbers Road, Umuahia, or number 28 School Road, Umuahia, all in Abia State. Call us on 0806 951 2773 or email us at wandsgleam@gmail.com. Masters and Wands Cosmetics stores. Quality is our name. Signed, Management.
Rapid 96.5 FM.
The sound of your city.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It's a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. So this is beyond partisan politics. Nigeria is on drip. Nigeria is on oxygen. And how can we get out of this? And these are kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is part of it.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
No Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
You're welcome back to the program Standpoint on Rapid 96.5 FM. This morning we have been looking at the delay in arriving at the agreement on what the next national minimum wage should be in Nigeria. The delay, the suspense, the president's position on transmitting the bill to the National Assembly, what actually is happening has been area of concentration this morning on the program. Remember, we are on Facebook and also on YouTube. You can be a part of the program. Udochukwu, you're welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. My name is Mr. Aiko Bonaya. Hello there.
Good morning, Mr. Ike.
Good morning, sir. Please, I want you to probably look at this argument, looking at it from the economic implications of the demand for higher wage. Government has consistently argued that the more they increase the minimum wage, the more it impacts negatively on inflation. I don't know what is your take on that argument?
Well, it's a very weak argument. The impact that you would think it will have is reduces government's resources for capital development. But then they remove fuel subsidy, and then we believe they would have had more than 3 trillion naira annually. They can use to develop or invest in infrastructural development. On the other hand, many people have argued several times that inflation would definitely get worse because retailers will always going to increase the prices of their goods. But I don't think in a functional country like, in the West, things like that will happen. Remember when shop owners, I think during COVID-19, tried to increase, arbitrarily, increase prices of their goods without any justification. They were charged to court. I can remember, one incident in Germany. They were charged to court. If you have no reason to increase, if there are no justifiable reasons. In Nigeria, we take advantage of everything. Yeah. During COVID-19, there was face masks, or even hand sanitizer. They were selling over 2,000 naira. This is what they now sell 200 naira. Just because the demand was high, there was no other reason they increased it. So if we do price regulation, which I think we do in Nigeria. But these excuses of it will impact negatively. There is no single negative impact it will have. Rather, it will, rejuvenate the economy. When people have more to spend, then you will expect the economy to get back to its feet.
All right. We want to say a very big thank you to, of course, the Executive Director, Data Desk for Social Development, Udo Chuku, for your time on Standpoint this morning. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
All right. Do have a nice day ahead. 091600965 or 09163333965. You can as well drop your comments on our Facebook page at Rapid Umahia. You're welcome to the program. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Your name and location, please. Can do well to redial the number. Good morning. It's good to have you join the program.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good morning, Moses Ben.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Aiko Bondaya. Good morning, Incorruptible Sam.
Welcome, my brother.
Good morning, my brother.
I am Okafor Chinedu. I am calling from Umahia.
Okafor, welcome.
Thank you. Let me say this. Each time we talk about minimum wage, I've always blamed the Nigerian Labour Congress for not negotiating well, for not standing on the side of strength to negotiate. They have always shown weaknesses to stand before the government to negotiate on the welfare of their members. They will always allow the government to take the upper hand. How many times have they gone on strike to maintain their stand and their position on what they want? They won't. After everything, they will hand over their position or their negotiating power to the governors. Now, let me say this. When you talk about inflation, it's true that when you pay higher, definitely it will affect. Now that we are not paying higher, what are we suffering? Still the same inflation. Prices of goods have continued to show higher with few amount of money in circulation. No money anywhere. People continue to suffer. I think Labour should begin to press more on some of this infrastructural development, like fixing our refineries. These are the major things. And also make a conducive environment for business to strive so that there will be more employment.
All right, Okafor.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. 09160,965 or 0916333 It's good to have you join the program. Good morning.
My very distinguished gentlemen of the press, I greet all of you.
You're welcome, sir.
Good morning.
Oluobo, call a spade a spade. A revolutionist par excellence. Chief Awolowo Nko dead. I fire now.
Please fire.
Fire Labour.
Direct. I love your program. It's educative, and all of you are very transparent as per your analysis. God bless you.
Thank you.
Let me say here, I keep saying and I keep talking. Those who have elected from the House Assembly, governors, House of Representatives, senators, the president, they are no more there for the people. You go and investigate. I'm a social critic. I don't because I'm a party. Some people call it a talk party. I'm not sentimental. They are no more representing us as it used to be. Can you see pensioners? You ever see where I had that during Rogers Okrocha, where pensioners will forfeit their creativity and such a clap for such things. Do you see President Tinubu? Is he caring for the hunger that is taking away the lives of Nigerians? That is no. Where are the senators who are supposed to challenge Tinubu over this poverty?
Yeah.
Where are the House of Reps whose duty is to say, Mr. President, sir, Nigerians are dying in the House. Rather, all of them are talking about how to get nations all over the country and outside the country.
All right, Chief Awolowo.
Running democracy. Come to Abia and Imo. Workers are frustrated. Pensioners are frustrated. And you answer transparent and said governor. Governor Fabia and Imo, I'm talking to you people. Wake up and address the salary minimum wage of workers.
All right, Chief Awolowo. Thank you so much for your contribution. We appreciate. A very good morning to you and thank you for joining Standpoint. Your name and location, please.
Good morning, Moses Ben.
You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, Correctable Sam and Mr. Aiko Bonna.
Good
morning, brother.
Good say, man, no, this is the name I'm calling from Umar.
And nobody has been able to answer the question.
You did.
All right, please, I want to thank you guys. Like the last caller said, we follow media to contribute our quota in making Abia and Nigeria a better place.
Sure.
So some radio stations have been biased. Sorry to say it on air. I mean, it's not the radio station. I mean, the journalists that represent the radio station.
You can't say the radio station because the media is out here to ensure that we
it's not the, as I said,
and report activities of the government and other agencies.
I remember what I said. I corrected myself. Some media, as in journalists, so-called journalists, have been making some of the radio stations so biased that some people are no longer interested in calling the stations. But I pray that God will continue to encourage you guys to stand on the truth. Say it even when it means as in being angry with the people that empower our people that are not empowered. Thank you and God bless you guys. Then what we are saying in the issue of a minimum wage, some NLC can never be blamed solely. You know that politicians and especially governors, they are just greedy sets of people that I don't know. MT has said that they are going to pay 62,000 naira, which all of us are still contemplating. Even NLC, they're saying that it's no more, it can't get anybody. The governors are saying that they can't even pay the 62,000 naira. In Abia State here, our governor has not added 1 naira to workers' wages. Likewise, every other, you saw what Peter Mbak, they mentioned that Peter Mbak came up and told them that he'll be paying 30,000 minimum wage, and the wage award he has been paying since September, last year to date. What happened to our own governor? When we talk about it, you look at it that we have the governor, he had the governor. And the problem we are having here is the people that are saying that governor has done this and done that. When governor is getting it right, we encourage him. When he's not getting it right, we still criticize him constructively. He did that when he was in the opposition state. So all we are saying that the governor should look in well. The month they remove fuel subsidy and added to governor's allocations. What a governor will be receiving 4 billion naira now receive over 11, 12 to 15 billion naira. So when they talk about they don't have money to pay, it pains me so much. Our governor Alex Oti should lead by example by paying the wage bill award and make sure that he follow a those state governor that is paying 70,000 naira for now. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you for your contribution. A very good morning to you and thank you for joining the program.
You're only lifted in the mighty name of Jesus.
Thank you. Welcome.
Excellent.
Excellent. You're welcome.
Out of two evils, you choose the lesser one.
Prophesy.
Bad water and good water, they don't come out from the same tap at the same time. What am I trying to say? I prophesy, I don't prophesy.
Okay.
What I'm saying in effect is that minimum wage. I mean, you can never be here and be there. Our governor said that whatever the federal government, see, even in the party, if you go to party with your boss, you would start spending money. Once you spend 62,000 naira, you look at the artist that organizing him. You have to before you pay. It doesn't mean that you even if you want to naira, you're ready to pay. Even
if Excellence, the line has been breaking.
The talk is affecting your prophecy.
The network has been quite unfriendly with your position. Apologies. A very good morning to you and thank you for joining the program. Hello, good morning. 091600965 or 09160333965. You're welcome to the program. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's Uche. I'm calling you from Mumbai.
Uche, it's good to have you join the program.
Yeah, good morning, Sam and the other people here.
Uche, welcome.
Is it you count one before counting two?
Yeah.
Why I don't even like talking about this minimum wage issue because here in Abia State, what we are still being paid is with 2022 payment voucher. You are a journalist, you can go and verify. Because of the verification, they use that, even that 2022 payment voucher, it's not even up to 15,000 naira minimum wage. Could you imagine that a level 12 teacher, I can show you this thing, who receives 58,600 as monthly salary. A level 12, somebody who have served up to 12, 13, 14, 15 years receives 58,600 as monthly salary. So what are we talking about? If this government is going to be good to the workers, what they should have done is do a new payment voucher with that 30,000 old minimum wage before we are waiting for the new one. Place all the workers at their right, position. And you pay the water if you pay the wage award or no wage award. At least there's no way you will pay 30,000 minimum wage, which is still in existence here in Abia State, that a level 12 person will receive that 58,000. It's not good. So when you promise and promise and promise, time for this thing, you are now telling workers they occupy a minute percentage. Yes, but you remember that the workers, when you pay them, it will circulate. They will get the money, and the money will circulate.
All right,
so let them start from the old one here in Abia first before they will continue to wait for the national one. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you so much for participating. We appreciate 09160 333 965 or 09160 000965. Good morning and welcome to Standpoint. Your name and location.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Ben.
You're welcome, sir.
God bless you. My name is Owakwe Chidebere. Good morning, the incorruptible and the I.
Owakwe, welcome.
Good morning, sir.
God bless you all. I want to plead with all the state governors to please comply with labor. Because looking at the thing that is actually happening currently in the country, you will understand that people are not really finding it funny. But the one that really always affects me the more is that of Abia State. I believe you guys had a report from Labour that mentioned most of the states that have not even started paying the 30,000 naira minimum wage. And Abia was the first. And I asked, when the governor of Abia State was coming on board, his mantra was, Abians, weep no more. Workers, weep no more. Your Messiah have come. But currently, what are we having? Reverse is the case. Today is Abia State University. Tomorrow is verification of workers in the Abia workforce and all the rest of them. And I asked, does it mean that the governor of Abia State was not prepared before coming on board, or he promised heaven and earth when he came on board? Reality dawned on him that most of the promises he made, he cannot be able to keep them. Even if not for any other thing, he should please take priority on the welfare of workers. If not, 2027, thank you and God bless.
You never can tell. That's your own, and you have only one vote anyway. Thank you, Wakwe. We appreciate your contribution. Gentlemen, on Abia 360 this morning, because we've been keeping tab on the developments around the Abia State University, Uturu. It's been in the news lately. So concentrate on that issue on Abia 360 this morning. That will be after the news light. We want to know exactly what is happening in there with salary payment, no salary payment. Join us again after the news light with Joy Nurturing. I go Bonaya, Incorruptible Sam. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, my name is Moses Ben. Let us do this again at Abia 360.
Trending stories, breaking news,